heritage and legacy. We are proud to represent the Benin Empire Advancement League, a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving and promoting the great nation of Benin. Through our advocacy and support, we are raising awareness about the amazing achievements of this ancient African empire. Our goal is to inspire future generations to continue exploring their roots, championing their culture and reaping the benefits of being part of such a wonderful nation. Connect with us today. Come and join us as we strive for an even brighter future for all generations of Benin citizens. #BForce for Good. WhatsApp 4,368,864,942,365. Thank you. Let's come together to support our Omo N'Oba in building the Benin Empire. The Benin Empire Advancement League is a network of individuals and organizations dedicated to rebuilding the power, influence and legacy of our great empire. Join us today and help make an impact. Find out about historic sites, stories, traditions and current events. Connect with like-minded people from around the world. Take action to protect and advance the interests of our people. Connect with others and join the cause. WhatsApp 04368864942365. Code word I want to be a part.
Are you passionate about preserving culture as well as promoting progress in Benin and West Africa? Now is the time to join the Benin Empire Advancement League, a social organization with an aim to preserve historical monuments and promote the cultural heritage of the region. We are looking for members who can make a positive difference in their communities. Join us and be part of this great cause, empowering people with knowledge and skills that can help drive change and foster growth. Register today and kickstart your journey. https Benin Empire Advancement League.com. Register.
Yeah, welcome back. Thank you for staying with me. Yes, I want to do a different session for the EVBOESI town people, for the EVBOESI people, the warriors of EVBOESI. First of all, I want to thank everyone in EVBOESI and also from the government part of it, because no blood was shed, nobody was killed, nobody was injured during the conflict that went on about land in EVBOESI. Although I am not an indigene of EVBOESI, but I am a person from Edo, and EVBOESI is part of Edo, and I want to have a message for our youth of today and our youth of tomorrow, because these people will be the leaders of tomorrow. And I understand your pains and everything you people are going through past few days. And believe me, we are also with you people. And I want to say something people will not like. I hope people will forgive me if I say this. It's not just EVBOESI in particular that we're having this issue. It's almost all communities in Edo State. Let us start from the seaport that is supposed to be in Gelegele. It was abandoned because of the people revolt against it. The airport that was supposed to be built, international airport, was abandoned because people revolted against it. And in so many other communities, there were farms, there were projects that's supposed to be taking place. Everything was abandoned. Now, my question is, we want development. We want industry. We want Edo State to be industrialized. How do you want all this government to fulfill this project if we cannot provide land for the government? That is number one question. But I believe many people will now come up in social media. Why can't you give in your father's land? What sort of rubbish are you talking about? I will assure you, this is not rubbish. And this is the reality. Any country, any local government that is going to develop have to compromise, have to provide something. Because there's no government in the world that build their industries on air. They build it on the ground. It's always on the ground. So if we want development, we must also be ready to allow government to have access to land. We know the pains of the peoples of EVBOESI, and we are fully with them. But my blame is not, I doesn't want to put the blame on one particular person or youth or something like that. No. I think the government failed in so many fronts in that area. They should have negotiated fully, purely with the people of EVBOESI. All these issues should have been avoided. Because the landmass of Oriomo local government area, I can tell you almost 40 to 50% are reserve areas with good reasons. Because everybody can now see what is happening, the climate change that is taking place all over the world today. The world is suffering. People are going to lose their country. Go to Fiji Island, then you will understand. People are already feeling the impacts. States are going down underwater because of the climate change. Even people like Maldives and others, all of them are going down because of what we human beings are doing to our nature. So, in the issue of Oriomo local government area, the reserve area should be preserved. We doesn't need to build estates all over Nigeria. That is not, for me, that is not, I won't say it's not a development, but it's not a real development. What we need is industries that can employ thousands upon thousands of people. Give them their daily bread. Because God will not come down to earth to give you your daily bread. You have to work for it. And it is the industries. If we have industries where people will be employed, this is where the income will be coming in, no matter how low or how high. There's a guarantee that at the ending of the month, that money will be coming in to feed your own family. Then we will have less criminals in our street, less courtesan in our street. We should be very careful when we are handling so many issues. The government is bringing in something like airport or seaport. They are not building it for themselves. They are building it for the citizens of the state, creating employment, because you cannot create employment in air. I can tell you about 60 to 65% of the people that is being employed in Europe today are working in industries. Even some of them are being owned by private peoples. And I want to give you a little bit of advice, especially when it comes to land sales. The Europeans, they have adopted a system that even though you buy that land, it doesn't fully belong to you, it belongs to the government. When the government come today to say, we need this land, they will settle you, they will pay you off for the land. And there's a fixed amount, the highest fixed amount that is being given out for a plot of land. Depends on how those area is also developed. And there's also another system, renting out your land to companies. You can rent it out for 20 years, you can rent it out for 30 years, they build their industries there, or you can rent it out for 5 years, for 10 years, it depends. They will be paying, they will be renewing the agreement. The land belongs to you, they are only there for rent. This is what our people should be thinking of right now. Selling all the land that belongs to us, building houses and all that, it doesn't really help the economy. Industries, this is what builds a nation. We need industries in our state. We need science. We need so many other things, because I don't know how we want to achieve that without giving land out for the government to do all these projects. I know some of our government officials are bad people, corrupt, embezzling, playing tricks on others to acquire land that doesn't belong to them. But we should also put it into consideration. If we want our local government to develop, if we want our state to develop, we have to be providing them with land so that they can build the industries. We can have an agreement to say, okay, 50% of the employee, or the 50% of the chance to employ anybody in that company should be reserved for the community people. And this is also what the Europeans have adopted. If somebody is building a company in this local government today, there's an assurance that at least 20% of the employee are from this local government, if they want to. So this is what we need to be doing. We need to be focusing. We need to be focusing on what we really want. Do we want to have our land, keeping it for ourselves without development? Do we want our country to develop? Do we want our state to develop? If we want that, then we have to do something. Do something with brain. Make sure all the agreements you are going to be signing must in accordance that will give you profit. Just fighting and say no to the government development, blocking the seaport, blocking airports, blocking farms and all that, doesn't really help all issues. And putting blame on Enogie and Wuhan of those communities doesn't really help issues, because they have been choosing also to make decisions for you people. And you can really help these people to make the decision easier, because so many of you people are just take the stand of opposition, no matter how things are, or if it is good or bad. And that is very bad of us. We shouldn't be thinking of ourselves alone. We should be thinking of our children, because most of you people have 4 children, 5 children. You should think about it, how these people will get the job tomorrow, because the Europe we are seeing today, they are changing. They are already feeling the hardship of the economic of the world today. Even America, Canada, all those people we are running to, most of them are also running out to earn their money somewhere. So we should make our state a home for us, because people suffer in this Europe. People don't understand. People go to France, go and see our people, they're sleeping in the street. If these people are being employed at home, they can only be thinking of going to holiday in France, or going to holiday in Italy or something like that. So we need to be thinking twice before we stand against everything that will bring development to the state. We know we doesn't like the governor. Many people doesn't like the governor. Neither I do. But we have to look. We have to be looking at issues before we step in, start disturbing things, start saying things that doesn't really help matters. If a community today like EVBOESI have 3 companies that employ at least 30 youths, I think that is a good development. Or in my own community, if we have a company today that employ at least 30 people in that community, it's a huge development, because the income of those people is guaranteed every month, that when they finish, when they get their pay slip, they are going to be able to take care of their family, even some of their loved ones. So if we doesn't put all these things into consideration and be blocking everything that will bring development, it's not going to be easy for us to develop. We need to start seeing things differently. We shouldn't act because one person is a bad person, then we act against our people. That is not wise. We have to think wisely, because this government will be living in 1.5 years, but we need development. We need electricity. We need water. We need good roads. If we have so many industries in our country, the tax that is going to be collected from all this industry can also help us to be building roads and others. Sorry, there's a message here. That will be helping us to be building all these amenities for our people, good hospitals and others. The Western world, they did just come from sky to start developing. They went through so many things, so many ugly things, that also make them to come to Africa, that make them to start working hardly. They work hard for what they have today. So many of them were stolen from Africa, so many of them from Asia, so many of them from North America and others. They didn't relent. The Chinese are doing the same thing to the copy and paste. They copy it and they paste it on their own. They do it. Or you call it drag and drop. You drag it to your own brain and you drop it, build it. So all these things didn't come alone. It's through effort of some people who stand and said, we want this land to develop. If we have this opportunity, I would like us to use this opportunity. The Omo Land Reserve should not be touched, because the ecological effect for Omo will be very, very disastrous. Not just Omo alone, because the air you breathe today is is from this reserve. So we should not be running into actions doing this and that just because we say the governor is bad. We should also consider ourselves, consider what we will gain from all these things. We should not always be standing on the way just because we hate somebody. We should understand the length of everything. Obaseki is not going to take this land with him when he's going. The land is going to remain there. You know, in the time of Ogbe Ezoti, I fought against this just because it was an historical area. It was very, very important for our culture and all that. But I believe, okay, for example, when I was growing up in my own local government, Abudu was flourishing. We have Chatreni College, we have the Abiakula Grammar School, we have so many other schools in Abudu of that period. The teachers training SCG was there, the campus was there, everything was there. Abudu was like a town, was developing to a form of a real city. But when you go there today, you will see the difference. Because we let everything go. We doesn't think of tomorrow. We doesn't think about our children's children, the repercussion for them. If we want to help our children, this is the time we start building the future for them. They may come to change the future to their own form, but we should start laying foundations for them. And to do that, we need land. We should always go into compromise with government. Find solution to all this problem. I'm not saying EVBOESI should give the land to the government, but I'm pleading with them to take things into consideration, to look at things twice. Because we need development in that state. We need development in Orion local government. Orion local government is one of the local government area that is less developed. So we should put all these things into consideration and let's see. Because I can tell you in Abudu, the capital for our local government, the last time was there, that was about 2 years ago. I was about to shed tears because this was not the local government I know when I was young, because I know that period in council when we went there to march around, do so many other things, in the house sport and all that, So, on Independence Day, when you go there, you see different people. You see people, but these days I don't understand. So we need to bring people back from the city to the village, to develop the village, because most of these countries you are seeing that is developed in the world today, their industries are not just built in the cities, they are also in the villages. So they are also in the villages, and they contribute at least 30% of the growth to every country. The Nigerians need that, the Edo people need that, Orion local government need that. We need development. We need to start going to compromise with the government to provide us land access. We mustn't send the land. We can rent it out for a period of time for the government so that they can build in. I know many of our people here will not say, this boy is always against us, it's always, no, or this man is always against us. I'm not against anybody. This is just a piece of advice. My advice for EVBOESI people, stop blaming the gays or the Ohe or John Weri or something like that. You as a youth who also travel out of the country or travel out of that state should have saw so many things. You should be able to advise the Enoki, the Ojonwere, and all that, so that development should come into that area. Because we all are running away from villages because there's no amenities, there's no light, there's no water. We are running to the city. I believe if so many of us have those amenities in our villages, nobody will be running away. If you are going to Benin, you will only go to Benin City to rest. So let us be thinking twice before we start doing things. I'm pleading with EVBOESI today, EVBOESI people, the Ojonwere, the Enoge, the Enigi, or Etionene, to put things into consideration, to sit down with the youth, to have a sort of discussion, a dialogue with the representative of the government to make sure we find a solution to all these issues, because no industry can be built on air. Every industry will be built on ground, on land. But if we don't give people access to our land, the development or the civilization we are hoping of is going to be very difficult for us. We need to start standing up and thinking before we act. Always look at both sides of the issue before we act. We doesn't need to be jumping into issue and one-sided and making one person to be a bad person. It doesn't have any solution to any issue. Come to a table, sit down on a table, discuss issue, respect each other, accept each other's decision. That will help issues. So, my EVBOESI people, I'm pleading with you people, before any blood will be shed or something like that, let us avoid all those things. Please come to table, sit down with the government officials, sit down with the Enoge, the Ojonwere, the Ohen, or the Idions who are there, to find solution to all this problem. Because saying no and no and no and no doesn't really help issue, because no country developed without industry. We can see how Saudi Arabia is developing today. Those land they are building, all those things, they didn't belong to the government. They belonged before to private people. But today you see the development that is coming to that country. So this is how we want our state to be. And for the Benin Empire as a country, because I don't like being in Nigeria, because before the British came, we were in our own country. Before Nigeria, we were amalgamated to Nigeria, we were on our own country. That is how it should be in the future. And as such, we need to build the economy of our states to a standard or to a level that we can employ people to work. Because the time has passed that government will be providing employment for people. Now the private sector, they can do exactly the same thing with the support of the community, with support of the government. So EVBOESI people, I'm pleading with you people, please go to the negotiating table, negotiate issues, do things accordingly. There's no need of blocking road or blocking every access to that community. Or it's not the right decision, or to be blaming other people, because I believe we cannot satisfy everybody. There are decisions you will make, people will still criticize you, even though it's a good decision or a bad decision. So we cannot please everybody. Please, my EVBOESI people, come to a negotiating table, negotiate with your chiefs, with the government, and find solution to all this problem. Orion reserve area remain a reserve area because this is the joy of Orion. people are farming today, somewhere like Abudu. I can tell you about 30% people who farm are farming in the reserves area. So they can have more access to reserve area to do their farming, and it will remain the reserve area. So thank everyone for joining me. And I will see people, please forgive me if you doesn't like what I'm saying. And if you like what I'm saying, also forgive me. Thank you. Oba Atokbe is there. Bye-bye.
Today is a day to celebrate Benin's rich culture, heritage and legacy. We are proud to represent the Benin Empire Advancement League, a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving and promoting the great nation of Benin. Through our advocacy and support, we are raising awareness about the amazing achievements of this ancient African empire. Our goal is to inspire future generations to continue exploring their roots, championing their culture and reaping the benefits of being part of such a wonderful nation. Connect with us today. Come and join us as we strive for an even brighter future for all generations of Benin citizens. #BForce for Good. WhatsApp 4,368,864,942,365. Thank you. Let's come together to support our Omo N'Oba in building the Benin Empire. The Benin Empire Advancement League is a network of individuals and organizations dedicated to rebuilding the power, influence and legacy of our great empire. Join us today and help make an impact. Find out about historic sites, stories, traditions and current events. Connect with like-minded people from around the world. Take action to protect and advance the interests of our people. Connect with others and join the cause. WhatsApp 04368864942365. Code word I want to be a part.
Are you passionate about preserving culture as well as promoting progress in Benin and West Africa? Now is the time to join the Benin Empire Advancement League, a social organization with an aim to preserve historical monuments and promote the cultural heritage of the region. We are looking for members who can make a positive difference in their communities. Join us and be part of this great cause, empowering people with knowledge and skills that can help drive change and foster growth. Register today and kickstart your journey. https://Benin Empire Advancement League.com. Register.